RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right, everybody, what's going on? This is Tara Devlin, and this is Unapologetic Liberal Talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you guys for hanging out. I see the chat room filling up over at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. Thank you guys. I apologize. I don't know. I'm trying to do it so I could set the show up like we do it on the Tara show, where the chat room is open before the show starts so you can all hang out, but and not have to pile in at one. I don't know. So it's there, but I did it once, but I'm having trouble doing it again. I'll have to figure it out. I'll figure it out. Nice to see everybody. Thank you, Jim, for being a moderator. I don't know what I'd do without you. I really don't. I hope you don't feel the pressure. I hope you enjoy coming here and hanging out on Friday nights. I really do. And I really appreciate you being a moderator at the Tara Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Political Voices Network channel, YouTube channel. That means a lot to me too. So we're in this together, and I can't do it alone, and I certainly wouldn't want to, but it means a lot. Thank you, Jim. So, and thank you everybody else. Thank you, JD. I see JD. I see Mike. I see Errol. I see Josie. Everyone is ready for a good show tonight. Well, good is all relative. I mean, we're talking about a lot of shit that sucks, of course. And I also want to thank Charlie from APS Radio News for everything he's done and will do and always does to keep the show going and growing, and just the emotional support, and for being a good person. And who else? Oh, yeah, and the patrons. Please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. That'll help keep me, going and keeping the show going and me going, so I can continue to do this work, because we don't have a liberal media. Everybody, this is the liberal media. Everybody, and everywhere you go, you're going to get bombarded with e-begging. So it is what it is. We don't have big billionaire benefactors. We have each other. I really encourage you guys, if you can, or haven't already, become subscribe to the Political Voices Substack, because that channel, we want to make that channel as big as Midas Touch, bigger, right? I mean, even if we're in the number 2 spot, that would be great. And there's, I'm of the belief in general, there's enough room for everybody. So I mean, as far as, Midas Touch is doing great, so we can do great too. And I believe that, and you know how I feel, because you guys been hanging out for a long time, but we won't win without this message getting out there, without creating a country where wherever people go, they will encounter the truth. We have a lot of work to do, and really that is the bottom line. The Republicans, they're not, and people are people, right? These people are going about your day. They're consumed with and surrounded by right-wing propaganda, and that's where they're getting their bullshit from. So that's why they continue to vote against their own demise, or vote for their own demise, I should say. And so they were very smart. They played the long game. These billionaires, they understood that because they don't have anything in reality to boast about, that they have to get the message. It was all written out in the Powell memo back when Roger Ailes was proposing GOP TV to Nixon in the White House. That one of the essential steps on getting the country to become a conservative shithole, which is really, it's getting the country to go backwards, to go back to the system the founders fought a revolution to overthrow. One of the essential pillars on the stepping stones to authoritarianism is take over the media. And they have been successful. Because, even though they only have half the media, they have devalued the other half. They have turned us into, they've separated the American people, they've divided the American people at every turn, at every place every point where there could be a unifying event the COVID pandemic. Trump could have gone down in history as a great human being, a great president, right? All he had to do was channel the bully pulpit into unifying the country. He could have done that. But instead, he divided us against we wear masks or don't wear masks, or we get vaccinated, we don't get vaccinated. And we're up against the propaganda. And I have an example. Thank you, John, for your super chat. Just came in. I just saw it right there. Thank you so much, John. See, keeping the show going and growing. That means that's a lot. I mean, that's what has to happen. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's the practical realities of life. Or this shit costs money. It all costs money. So, all right, let me see. I've been doing some videos over at the Political Voices channel, so I hope you're on the Substack. And tonight there will be an article will be published. It's set to publish around 10 o'clock about kind of something like what we were talking. Well, I won't go fully into it because it'll be in the article. But what we're talking about is, well, I don't know, fuck it. We'll just, since I'm talking about it, I'll do a background. Because what I want to talk about tonight is the Joni Ernst thing that just happened. Of course, Elon Musk, because I hate him with the heat of 1,000 blazing suns, and he is the poster child for why billionaires shouldn't exist. And what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, the RFK using GTP or using AI to write report. I mean, this is how fucking lazy these people are. You see, they're all frauds. Everything they have is fraudulent. So, thank you. I'm doing a thing over. Where is it? Do I have it? Oh, it's locked. There's over at the Political Voices Substack, I'm doing something called Devlin versus the News. Let's see. I got the lower third here. Let me see. I don't know why I can't play it. Why isn't it playing? Oh, probably because I'm a different. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. I love Ecamm. It's great, but it's very confusing sometimes. So I gotta tell you, it's very confusing. How come it's not playing? Oh yeah, it's locked. All right, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Where is this? Tara show, Tara commentaries. Let me do this. I'm gonna disappear for a minute because I have to choose the camera. Hold on a second. You see, I should have done this before I started the show. There we go. There we goes. And all right, let's play this clip. I'm gonna play. It's Sean Duffy on the, what do you call it? Screen share. Let me get my Premiere. So many things. Thank you for your patience too. You know, this is breaking down the fourth wall here. That's how you do. Okay, so now I gotta do this. I should show you. I should take you along as I'm setting things up. At least you have something to watch while I'm fumbling around. Okay, that's that. That's screen flow. I want Safari. Here we go. I got 10,000 windows open. All right, so this was Sean Duffy on I was going to say MTV, but that's where he came from. He's the Secretary of Transportation, JD. I don't know, because JD lives in England. He I don't know if you know this guy. He was I never saw the show, but he was on a reality TV show called Road Rules. So of course Trader Trump makes him the Secretary of Transportation because, you know, he was on a show that had road in the title. It's baboonery to the highest degree. Hold on a second. This is Tara Devlin. We'll be right back. Isn't it embarrassing when you really think about it? And when you don't think about it, it's embarrassing that this is what we're dealing with. This is the world we now live in. So in a couple of hours, the article I wrote is going to be up there. And it's also the video that I did about it. But it doesn't matter. This is just a preview of it, I suppose. But I'm doing some videos called Devlin versus the News. Did I tell you that? Yeah, I like that title. And so I'm taking some clips and going through the clips and breaking it down. But I'm just fast forwarding a little bit to the end. He's announcing something called the Great American Road Trip. So while Trader Trump is in office, much to our disgrace and shame, and to the eternal shame of the 49.6% of voters who showed up on election day and voted to send the convicted felon to the Oval Office that he had disgraced originally. So because of those disgraceful, shameful Americans, by a slim margin, Trader Trump will be presiding over the 250th anniversary of the grand experiment in liberal democracy that Republicans are currently destroying. All right? It is a goddamn disgrace and a shame, and an eternal shame. The guy who sent a mob to trash the Capitol, to defecate and urinate in the halls of the citadel of democracy, to hang the vice president, to attack the peaceful transfer of power, to stop the peaceful transfer of power that was good enough for George Washington, but not for America's first convicted felon president. That this scumbag is going to preside. He's going to host. He's going to be there. He's going to be the face of America's 250th anniversary. And it's sad because that's a blip in the ocean, really, when you think about the fact that, you know, the Roman Republic was over 500 years old and it still fell to autocracy. And every Roman, there was a saying in Rome, no king shall rule Rome. And they proudly proclaimed that. It was taught to every child, and it still fell to autocracy. And here we are, just a little baby country, really. We've certainly grown up rather fast, but we have been under assault now, and from fascism, I guess. We've never fully actualized the promises in our founding documents, that's for sure. But we are at really we're in an how do you pronounce that? Existential crisis. Existential crisis for not just the soul of the nation, but the very functioning of the nation. What kind of country are we going to be? These scumbags. That's what pisses me off. Besides everything else, is that how dare you? How effing dare you try to turn this country into an autocracy just because you don't like sharing? You can't stand a multiracial liberal democracy. You hate that. You're incapable of functioning in that kind of system because you're just too backwards, you're too racist, whatever it might be, whatever moral failing you're suffering from. So move, get the fuck out. Move to Orban, move to Hungary. Viktor Orban's Hungary. They love that place. That's the blueprint they're following. But okay, so Sean Duffy is announcing the Great American Road Trip. He's saying that Trader Trump has tasked all of the agencies that he's destroying to come up with ways to celebrate America. They don't celebrate America. They celebrate the branding of America. They like that. The eagles, the stars, the flag. They love that shit, but they don't wave the flag under a banner of E pluribus unum. They wave the flag in your face to be dicks about it. As if, because the symbols of America are, to them, they're just cudgels that you beat people up with. And I don't know, because the substance of America is like really way over their heads. So he's announcing this great American road trip, and meaning that, you take your family on a trip across the country, then, which is also ironic, given that the unelected South African sociopath, Parasite, who is the poster child for why billionaires shouldn't exist, that he's cut all the funding for national parks and, things that people want to see. So you go to the Grand Canyon now, and there's a 4-hour wait line that you better be very careful, too, because if you run into trouble in any of our national parks, there's going to be nobody there to rescue you. There's no rangers. They've been fired. There's no people to clean up the bathrooms. The toilets are shit. Right? The people, the people who clean the rooms, the hotels or whatnot, on the property, the gift shop, they're all fired. These oh God, okay.
There's no better time than spending those trips with your family in the car. Again, you put the phones away, and the things and stories that your kids will tell you and the memories that you'll make, there's nothing better. So you get to see your country, spend time with your family, and again, that's what we're doing here to celebrate America. We have 40 cars here, all made in America. What President Trump has done with tariffs are making car companies bring manufacturing back to this country, but also realign their supply chain so we get away from some of our adversaries in the supply chain that comes to the U.S. So this is a great American story led by President Trump, and we're grateful for that and celebrating that here today as we kick off our road trip for America.
So we should point out,
none of that was true. This is why we have to get, more people to subscribe and check out the political voices. Now, I'm not fucking kidding, because he's announcing this great American road trip, and right in there, he's throwing the lies. Just the lies are going in there. It's kind of like slipping them in the nooks and crannies of each sentence, and right alongside the effusive praise that's obligatory every time a Republican opens their mouth. It has to, and the sentence includes a noun, a verb, sucking Trump's ass, and a lie. That's the Republican, I guess, sentence structure. And the fact is, Trader Trump's tariffs are responsible for destroying American manufacturing. See, American manufacturing is coming back thanks to Joe Biden's policies. So, as I'm sure we predicted, and this is what Republicans do, they take credit for the successful outcomes of Democratic policies that they oppose. Hold on. We'll be right back, because I have the receipts. So I don't know if you can hear Ray. Can you hear him? He does what he does. That's Ray. He just sits and cries out. Oh, he's not crying. He gets one of his toys. He walks around with it, and he sings the song of his people. It's a very weird. He's a funny little creature. But let's see. Where is it? I have it all. I have the receipts here. So this is what Republicans do. We know this. That's why it drives me insane. During the debates, when Walz was debating that that fascist acolyte of Curtis Yarvin, J.D. Vance, they were taking credit for Joe Biden, for Democratic policies, because they were saying, oh, well, it was the first time when Trump was in office, it was the first time that in decades that wages rose for average workers. And I was screaming at the TV, yeah, that's because blue states, Democrats in blue states were passing $15 minimum wage policies that Republicans were opposing. And, of course, Walz sat there and said nothing. And that's what Republicans hope for. I know that, people aren't, I don't know everything. Nobody can. But if these facts and statistics are kind of on the top of my head, you would think that the nominee for the vice presidency would also, readily go back at the lies, because we cannot leave anything on the table unchallenged. And the other day, actually, I was talking about this on the Tara show the other day. I was watching the Jimmy Kimmel monologue, and who I really appreciate, and he does a great job getting the word out. He's great. But there was a clip that they played to set up for another joke. And in that clip, Trader Trump was going on about how he won the youth vote by 34%, and he kept repeating it. But that wasn't the setup for the joke that they were going for. I don't remember what it was, and I was like, hoping that Jimmy Kimmel would correct the record and simply say, no, that's not true. But he didn't. So doing that means that even those who are watching and agree with Jimmy Kimmel, they maybe don't know that actually Trump is a liar, of course, and he lost the youth vote by 11%. So he didn't win it by 34%. He lost it by 11%. So, but people don't, how would they know that if it's not challenged? And so similarly, why can't I say that word? I don't know. But I guess that's a hard one for a lot of people. When Sean Duffy says that we're in the midst of a manufacturing boom because of Trader Trump's tariffs, who the fuck does he think he's kidding? Right? These tariffs were so stupidly thought out, and that's the art of the deal. You pull the rug out from underneath yourself, because that's what he did. That's what the fucking baboon did. Pulling the rug out without any preparation. If he was really a deal maker, you don't do that. You set yourself up for success. You would find alternate supply chains, right? You would set that up before you make the deals, and then you announce the tariffs, so you're not slitting your own throat, so to speak. But that's not what he did. And we had no plans. He just pulled the plug on people. That's why small businesses are being decimated all over the country. Of course, larger businesses, they're capable. They have the money. They have the reserves to weather the storm. But small businesses don't. So, but the fact is, as usual, Republicans are taking credit for Joe Biden's successes. We knew that. Joe Biden, for the first time in decades, manufacturing was coming home. There was an actual manufacturing boom going on in the country, and I'm sure it's still going until Trader Trump is successful in destroying it completely. Because the jobs that were announced, a lot of them were, unannounced because of these tariffs. And this is what the executives in the in the auto industry that he's talking about, that, they have announced that the uncertainty means that they're not going to be able to hire people, and they're cutting back. They're not going to, and Harley Davidson announced that they're not, that they're, well, I have the receipts. Let me say that they were saying that, they had plans to expand, but now they won't because they're not dealing with this uncertainty. How can you? You can't plan. Like the first time, the so-called, in Trump's first maladministration, he had these so-called America First tariffs, but they were, as usual, a disaster for workers, right? They cost jobs, they raised prices, they Carrier moved jobs to Mexico, and Harley Davidson shifted production overseas, that's what I was meaning, and the trade deficit balloon. I mean, everything he touches, he fucking destroys because he doesn't know what he's doing. And, I don't know how much these Republicans, these sycophants, don't they have any dignity? They must know they're lying. Right? I don't know. I wonder because the praise, the licking of the con man's ass, the gaslighting, it never stops. Do they think? I mean, I guess they count in the stupidity of the people who vote for them because of propaganda. No doubt. We remember the first time how he decimated American farmers who needed a $1 billion government bailout to cover the losses from the first needless trade war. What are they going to do now? Because the soybean farmers, in particular, the Chinese are not coming back to buy from American farmers. They're looking for alternate deals. That's what they're doing. They're going out and making deals. And of course, Jay on the chat says, "What about the U.S. Steel Company?" It doesn't. He's announcing a 50% tariff on steel. It's nothing. It's not a real deal. He could announce a fucking bird flying out of your ass. It's not real. First of all, he doesn't have the power to do this, as according to the the Court of Trade, the Judicial Review caught up to him on May 28th. And so he has no, and in fact, Congress is supposed to set the rules of commerce. That's written right into the system that the founders entrusted to us because they didn't want to give the executive the power of the purse. They had lived through monarchy, sending people to die for wars without any kind of anyone having a say in the matter. So the fact is, they gave this baboon emergency powers, and there's no emergency. So what's the emergency? We had the best economy in the developed world. That's the emergency that you had to destroy? I guess so. If you are a Russian asset, yeah, I guess that's the emergency. America's just doing too well. You got to stop that. In fact, there was, I should have looked this up. Let me look it up now. They were something on Russian state television. They were going on about how they should erect a statue to Trump because he is really the best thing that ever happened. Russian state TV. Let me look it up. Statue. So, there was a big announcement tonight. He's saying that they're raising tariffs for U.S. steel, and that's great. And the U.S. workers are like, oh, wonderful. The guy's a con man. He can announce any number he wants. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. So why are we, and this is what really annoys me about the corporate media anyway, and the other thing is he doesn't have the authority at this moment, according to, I know he's violating court orders, but the fact is it's now illegal for people to collect the tariffs at the ports, so they're not doing it. I mean, he may be immune, but no one else is immune from prosecution. Let me see. Russian state TV. See, I'm not saying that, hey, if he was successful, we'd be like, wow, he's doing great, isn't he? It's really trickling down over here. Shit's really working out. But that's not what's happening. And in fact, I remember years ago when he first got elected despite receiving fewer votes, and I was talking to Mike Malloy just on the phone. We were just processing what happened, that he was elected despite receiving fewer votes. And Mike was saying, well, let's give him a chance. Let's see. He might surprise us. Maybe he is, because he was on even though he's a fascist who came down an escalator calling Mexicans rapists, and he's a racist and a con man and a lifelong grifter. But Mike was saying that he was talking about universal health care. Maybe he's the guy to do it, and he probably would have been because he was going on. I mean, about how he was going to do a deal, and everyone was going to get health care, and it wasn't going to cost anybody anything. It was the easiest deal that was going to happen, right? But of course, it never happened. If he had done that, I would be happy. I'd have to, right? I mean, that's the thing about the difference between Republicans and normal people, for real. And think about it. I believe in progressive taxation. I believe in the general welfare. I believe in the country, the system that I was taught in school, that we're, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, no one is above the law, the balance of power, checks and balances and whatnot. And I truly think, we've never gotten there completely, but the closer we get, we keep evolving, and, as the arc of history bends towards justice. So I had high hopes for the place. And with if funneling all the money to the rich, like the Republicans purport, right? No regulations. Let the corporations, poison our commons. Let them dump their filth into into the environment. Let them. It'll trickle down in prosperity for all. If it worked, this is the difference between Republicans and normal people. I mean, normal people would be all for it. I would have to change my ideas. I would have to adjust, to the new information. Wow, okay. Well, trickle down works. Let's do it. Let's keep doing it. Let's do more of it. But it doesn't work. And that's how they're insincere. They are completely insincere. And actually, it's a good segue into the Joni Ernst clip. And also the Doge thing, the insincerity of that. Let me just see. Because one of the people who worked for Elon Musk was at the Department of Veterans Affairs, and he saw, and he was surprised, and he reported this, And he said, wow, hey, they're pretty efficient. They're doing great. They're all, they really enjoy their jobs. They are public servants. They're trying to do the best for the American people. And it is pretty damn efficient. And he said he was surprised. He was looking for all the waste, fraud, and abuse, but he didn't find any. And what did Elon Musk do with that report? He fired the guy. Just like when Trader Trump was building his casinos, where he went bankrupt within a few months, and the accountant went to him and said, you're going to be bankrupt in two months once you open this casino, because in order to break even in this casino, you're going to have to take in $1 million a day of profit, which is, they don't even do that in Monte Carlo in a casino. I know it's surprising, but you're talking about Atlantic City, old senior citizens and whatnot who go on the buses. They line up around here. They take the buses up to Atlantic City and they play the nickel slots. They're not turning over $1 million a day in those casinos. So that's the guy told him, the accountant. He ran the numbers because Trump sucks at business. He was paying retail for things instead of making deals. He wanted it like a baby. Get it for me. Didn't matter how much they paid. He would look at swatches, say, I like this swatch. Get me, whatever, 1,000 bolts of this. Get me all the chandeliers. There was no deals being made. He was just buying shit. It's like, it was like Ivanka and the credit card. So what happened? The accountant ran the numbers and said, you're going to be bankrupt in 2 months unless you bring in $1 million a day in this casino. And Trump fired him and sued him. Okay? Sued him for libel or slander, whichever one. And, of course, he lost because in Discovery, it came out that he was 100% correct. The guy was telling him the truth. He had the fiduciary duty to tell him the truth. But, you don't want to hear the truth. So it was a maggot mindset before there were maggots. But they just lie and lie, because they're insincere. The goal is not shared prosperity or upward mobility or the American dream. It's not that. It's autocracy. It is making it easier for the rich to get richer and the working class to be the more malleable working poor. They don't want to have the plebs pestering them. And they're not that smart. They're not that overwhelming. They're very underwhelming people. Like Elon Musk, he's a fucking con man. And I've written numerous articles over at the Political Voices channel. And about Elon Musk. He's a grifter. He is, he's full of shit. He's an underwhelming grifter and a very sick man. Let's see, statue. I've been trying to type this. Statue to Trump. Let's see what comes up. Because I heard this. Let's see. Yeah, in April 2025, Russian state television, particularly the influential talk show, The Evening with Vladimir Solovyov, openly celebrated Trump's economics policies, specifically his imposition of tariffs which excluded Russia, and were seen as a destabilizing force to the economic global system. During these broadcasts, Russian commentators and hosts expressed delight at what they perceived as Trump's role in destroying trust in the U.S. economy and undermining the global capitalist order. Host Vladimir Solovyov, a prominent figure on Russian state television, went so far as to suggest that a monument should be erected in Trump's honor, declaring a monument should be erected to him. This is a major blow to the system of capitalism, and I think it deserves at least a Sokolov Medal, which is a well-known Russian gag gift described as a worthless award typically given to by a master to a servant. Listen to this. I mean, doesn't it make you feel proud? If there are any maggots roaming around listening to this, underscoring the mocking and ironic tone of the praise, Solovyov and other commentators even joked about the form the monument can take, such as sitting on a horse or being given the title of honorary economist. That's what that monster has done. That's what that effing worst president in American history has done to us. What a disgrace. Shame on everyone who voted for him. Shame on you. To your eternal shame. Your ignoble shame. Why? You better look at yourselves, you know? Why? And I hope you get the help you need, you know? Really. Because what are you getting out of it? You don't like America, it's too confusing. You don't like brown people, black people, gay people, trans people. Fucking who cares? Mind your own business. Get help. But that's what it is. Why? Why would you vote for that? Why? I mean, do you hate America that much? I don't know. You really should get the help you need. If only Republicans would get help. Go to therapy. Talk about it. Ask yourself. Ask your therapist, you know, what do you think? Why? Why am I such a horrible person? Why would I vote for someone who is a sociopath, who's so disgusting, who last time left office with the worst jobs record since Herbert Hoover, and America a land of mass graves where we had to put up with fucking tantrums of assholes who couldn't wear a mask on an airplane or going into Target or whatever. They would have a fucking meltdown. Everything was divided, people screaming in our faces because they didn't want to wear a piece of cloth on their stupid faces. In the middle of a worldwide medical crisis, while the first responders didn't have a day off in a year. They had to run around in garbage bags, washing out their N95 masks because of traitor Trump, his inability to do anything. Right? That's why he's all like, bring it to the states, give it to the states, do it to the states, everything the fucking states, because that gets him off the hook, doesn't it? He doesn't have to do anything then. And he sounds like he has some kind of plan, but he doesn't. The plan is kiss my ass. That's the plan. Play Hail to the Chief when I walk through the room. And that's all he wants. He wants the accolades. He wants to fly around on a Saudi flying palace to the utter disgrace of this country. Yeah, and I would understand, and I do understand, if you hate America, you are as giddy as a kid on Christmas morning. But you have to ask yourself, you know, with these maggots who voted for this fuck, when America's allies are appalled and America's enemies are dancing in the streets, all the most horrible people on earth are happy, you got to look at yourself, you would think. What's wrong with you? Why would you vote for that? Why would you say, yeah, put that back in the Oval Office, that guy who sent a mob to defecate in the halls of the Capitol. That guy who is an embarrassment, who's the most ignorant, selfish, sociopathic freak, waste of human DNA. A lifelong con man. It's never enough for him. Malignant narcissist. What is it? You hate America that much? Right? Am I wrong? For real. I mean, we all saw when he got all triggered about Trump always chickens out. Let me find that. Wait, let's see. That's the conservative. I go on the conservative Reddit page to see what they're talking about. Sometimes. Oh, see? Look, right at the top. Is this a trans thing right here? What is this? Oh, black and okay, it's not trans. I just saw something with sports and I thought it was trans, but it's racist. It's something like that. It's always something like that. A video compilation of physical assaults by black WNBA players against Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark is going viral. So, stir up the racism. It's racism. I don't know. But that's what they're talking about. It's the distractions. Don't look now, but the economy's kind of booming. Is it? Says Hot Air. Weren't we supposed to fall into the tariff apocalypse this month? We'll see. The tariff apocalypse, shit is getting started. According to the Chicken Littles, the consumers were poised to flee the consumer-driven economy as the trade war ravaged middle America. Things don't happen overnight. The shelves, the boats have just stopped coming here. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not wishing for destruction. If it works, hey, more power to you, But what was I looking at? Let's see, Twitter. Yeah, we don't have to play it. Ugh. Oh, fuck him. Oh, listen to him.
Person, I will say. Look, he's been a sort of a moderate person over his lifetime, not a smart person.
How dare you? He's talking about Joe Biden.
A vicious person, I will say. If you feel sorry for him, don't feel so sorry because he's vicious. What he did with his political opponent and all of the people that he hurt a lot of people.
Really? I mean, talk about projection, right? He hurt a lot of people. Did he? Joe Biden was a president that the American people finally had an advocate for the working man and woman. The ones that the maggots, that Trader Trump says, the working, what did he say? The forgotten man and woman are forgotten no more. Bullshit. Well, as he cuts their lifelines, as he fires people for no fucking reason. And that's another article I have to write over the weekend. How, Elon Musk has cost us more money. He hasn't saved us anything. Except he's embedded his parasite carcass in our body politic, and he's not letting go. He is mining our data. He's gotten himself more government contracts to blow up shit. And he's done nothing but cause chaos. That's all they do. Cause chaos, destruction, division. Joe Biden is vicious. All of these ad hominem attacks. Give us something. Give us an example. Oh, he's vicious because why? What he did to you? You mean the Justice Department did their job because you're a fucking traitor? And no one is supposed to be above the law before, of course, the corrupt and illegitimate Supreme Court had something to say about it. Let's remember what he did. He falsified business records. He stole. He was a tax cheat in New York. He used campaign funds to pay off a fucking porn star that he banged underwhelmingly while his third trophy wife was home recovering from childbirth. And then he used, in the Oval Office, signing a check to pay her off in installments. And falsified business records to cover it up. So it was a campaign finance violation, as well as he's just a piece of shit tax cheat. That's all he is. The biggest loser, American tax cheat, who declared more losses than every other American taxpayer for the 10 years that we know, that we had, the taxes that we have of him. And then what was the other thing? He called up the Secretary of State of Georgia and said, I need you to find me the votes to win. He tried to overthrow the election because he's a dirtbag who hates America. And everybody who votes for him, everybody who voted for him, I'm sorry, I cannot forgive you. I will not. Because you should be ashamed. And what was it? So he did that. He tried to, we have it on tape. I need you to find me the votes to win. It's nothing wrong with saying you recalibrated, right? Just come on out, because that's what he would do. He doesn't give a shit about the American people. And I'm still not 100% convinced that he even won this last election. He and Elon Musk, didn't he say something about it? Let it slip. Elon Musk took care of that. Who the fuck knows what these maggots are up to? They have no decency or honor. They don't fight fairly and squarely on the field of ideas. They hate this country. He didn't give a shit that the millions of Americans voted him out of office. He didn't like that. How could he ever look Putin in the zipper again? Or look up from Putin's zipper? If he couldn't steal an election just like Putin does. He would never, ever be able to be Putin's bitch. How could Putin be his best friend then? What a needy bitch. Can Putin be my best friend? That's one of his tweets. Fucking disgraceful. No one likes a needy bitch, but there he is. That's why they laugh at him. That's why Putin laughs at him. He's got the biggest bitch. He's got the greatest asset he ever found. He didn't even have to work too hard. He just had to say, more money. Here's some more money for you. It's never enough. That's why these people are sick. There are things more important than money. It's more, you would think that these great Christians would understand that too. These great patriots. He's vicious. Go fucking... Oh, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I want to keep my YouTube show up, Ugh. So what was that? It was shrimp. What did she say? Oh, yeah, taco. That's good. Well, except he's not that. He's bigger than that. Is this the one? Oh, here it is.
Analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, and then I chicken out.
Look at his face.
You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And
another number. Look at her face.
And because
what a fucking loser.
The European Union a 50% tax.
Because you did. You look at what you did.
And they called up and they said, please, let's meet
no one called
right
up,
now.
Honey.
And I said, okay.
That's why there's no deals. He promised 90 deals, 90 days. There's no deals. Even the one with the UK is not a deal. There's nothing ratified. It's a handshake. It's nothing official. Just like the announcements he made today about the steel. It's nothing. He just says shit. He could just say anything. That's why it's so annoying. The corporate media are so irritating because they'll just take him at his word, and then they'll get the pundits in. They'll all talk about it around the table. It ain't gonna happen. Like when he was in Long Island saying, "I will restore the salt tax, the deduction, the salt, whatever the fuck, and state and local tax deduction," and they all cheered like the stupid baboons, or the flying monkeys that they are, when he's the one that took the salt deduction away. They all cheered. And is it in the big beautiful bill? Oh, they did fuss with it a little bit, but it's not restored. He could do that. He can. He took it away. That was Obama. Obama passed the state and local tax deduction, but the maggots, they never have the manners, the decency, the maturity to say thank you. Never. And to Biden, all the maggots who have jobs in all these poorly run red states, because of the infrastructure bill, of the Chips and Science Act, that the Inflation Reduction Act, that all the maggots, all the Republicans are trying to dismantle. And do these maggots who have jobs because of Democrats, because of Joe Biden, do they say thank you? Oh no, they say, "Let's go Brandon," right? Ha ha ha, because that's fucking funny. Let's go Brandon. Well, what is that? That fuck Joe Biden. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Why? Because he is woke. Okay, what does that mean? They got no clue. What it means is, America's just too decent for them. When America is at her full potential, she is too big. She is too decent for maggots. So they need to make her as small and as petty and little and fragile and divided and ugly and selfish as they are. Until the chickens come home to roost, then they're all, "Oh, I see the light. I can't wait." Well, that's not true. I was going to say, I feel bad for them. I hope they wake up.
I'll give you till July. I actually asked them, I said,
what
"What's
a
the
fragile
date?"
bitch.
Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did
sure.
what I did, they said, "We'll meet anytime you want."
Oh, sure, bitch.
And we have an end date of July 9th.
I believe it, 100%.
You call that chickening out? Because we have
You
$14
call that
trillion
chickening
now
out?
invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything.
Oh, you
This
stupid.
country was dying. We have
Dying.
the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me.
The
He
king.
said, "You got the hottest. We have the hottest country in the world right now."
Oh, really? The king said
6
that
months
to
ago,
you?
this
The
country
king,
was stone
Mohammed bin
cold
Bonesaw, said it?
We had a dead country.
We were
had a country
dead?
People didn't think it was
You
gonna
mean
survive.
you mean the best economy in the whole Western world? That was propping up the rest of the world's economy? That was the worst. It was dead. It's only dead if you want Americans dead. When you have a decent country, a halfway decent country, maggots can't handle it. They gotta get their fucking baboons in there to like cut lifelines, kill people. Why is it that when conservatives are in power, the suicide rate goes up? Oh, it's the libs. They can't take it. No, these are in red states. In fact, the suicide rate in red states goes up. I should say unaliving rate, because YouTube doesn't like that word. But that's why people say unalive. Why is it? Death by despair goes up. These are facts. Why is it? It's not libs. Oh, you want to drink the lib tears. because they're such good Christians. They want to drink the tears. Oh, and such great patriots. They love drinking the tears of their fellow Americans. They're like America's enemies. Only people who hate America want to drink the tears of America. And what a bunch of useless idiots. And you could tell that Trump is very triggered by being called chicken, which is so stupid. All he had to do, he turned it into this whole thing now that will not die. He will never outlive the taco thing. All he had to do was go, well, that's cute. Next question. That would have been the end of it. But he can't, can he? Because just like Hillary Clinton said, he's easily baited. That's what he is. He's a very fragile, fraudulent bitch. That's why he is so easily triggered, because deep down inside, he's like Elon Musk. He knows what a fraud he is. And he doesn't like when it's called out. That's why he just, when you hit me, I hit back 10 times. Sometimes I couldn't believe it. When he was first running the last time, I remember going on his Twitter account before he was kicked off for being a traitor. And then, well, he was put back on because, now Twitter's the safe space for Nazis. And I couldn't believe I was like reading his retweets, and he was retweeting accounts that were, I don't know if they were real. They could have been bots, but they were like Joe Schmo 5829 with 3 followers. Wait, hold on. Here comes Tara Jr. He was retweeting these nothing accounts. I couldn't even tell if they were real. They were very generic, and they had like 3 followers. And as long as they said, "You're the best. I love you," or, just there's no one greater than Trump. He was retweeting this shit. Like, actually reading it and retweeting it. And I thought, wow, what a needy bitch.
And you ask a nasty question like that.
Oh, nasty. Look at her fucking face. Look at her face. Look at the drunk's face back there.
And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, a little bit, they want me to hold that number.
Oh,
145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up.
Man.
Because of fentanyl and many other things.
Sure, whatever you're saying, it's just word salad.
We're at 145%. I said, whoa,
just say a bunch of words.
That's high.
2 weeks. Throw in 2 weeks. Coming in 2 weeks.
We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China.
Oh, you dumb bitch. They're gone. China ain't calling.
Because they were having great difficulty because we were
basically sure.
China. We were doing
Funny.
no business because of the tariff, because it was so high.
No, they're making deals without us. That's what's happening.
But don't ever say.
Don't ever. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's a nasty question. Don't ever say it. Land of the free, home of the brave. So brave, aren't they brave? Isn't Trader Trump brave? I mean, the fact that he is going to preside over the 250th anniversary of our founding is such a goddamn disgrace. Am I wrong? Am I wrong here? Anyway, what were we going to talk about next? Let's get this fucker out of here. What a nasty question. What a nasty person. Don't ever say that. Don't ever. Well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do, bitch? Don't ever say it. Tough shit. Deal with it. Don't ever say it. I mean, okay. Could you imagine, if any Democrat behaved like that? Of course not. They would never. Don't ever say it. Don't ever. Unreal. What is this? Oh, that's my my other stuff. See? That's Devlin versus the news right there. Right? That's the... I hit the wrong button, but not bad, huh? Look at that. Nice little animation. I'll put it up again. See? It's like a real show almost. All right, let's go back. Oh, that's the other thing. It's like I'm doing a presentation to you guys. You got to see it on the Political Voices Network. Guys. So what's the next thing I had on the list? So we had... All right, yeah. The bottom line is Scott Duffy is a liar. And let me go through it again. Not again, but see if I missed anything about the tariffs. That, yes, Biden administration, American workers had an advocate. During the first term, Trump left office with a net loss of manufacturing jobs, about 178,000 fewer jobs than when he started, manufacturing jobs. And that was before the pandemic. Okay, so this is one thing that annoys me besides everything else, and we should remember this and bring it up whenever anybody says it, because they go on about, whenever someone brings up the fact that Trump left office the first time with the worst jobs record since Herbert Hoover. The fact is, the economy, he was fucking it up. It happened after they passed the GOP tax scam, and all he had to do was take Obama's economy, which was handed to him, and it was doing well. That's what happens, and I could pull up the numbers. And, Republicans destroy, Democrats deliver, they rebuild, and then the Republicans destroy. And so the economy, he was fucking the economy before we were hit with the worldwide pandemic. Oh yeah, we'll do the Joni Ernst. Yes, thank you, Josie. And so whenever you bring that up, and you'll hear it on the corporate media, when you bring up that he left office with the worst jobs record since Herbert Hoover, someone will inevitably pipe in, well, that's because of COVID. They'll give him an excuse, or they'll just say it. Because of COVID, he left off, like he's just a little babe in arms, and he has no control, has no say in the matter. He's just being battered around by the forces of history. But when they talk about Joe Biden's inflation, that was because of COVID too. It was a worldwide problem, inflation. The economy had shut down. The supply chains had been broken. We had to keep people in their homes. We had to allow, make up for the job losses. And so Biden did what FDR would have done. They passed these bills that kept the country economically going, but it also heated up inflation. But that was a worldwide problem. And it was finally under control in the last year of Joe Biden's presidency. And despite the reality, we kept hearing about how everyone thinks, or not everyone, but the American people believe that Trader Trump will be better for the economy. The economy was so much better when Trader Trump was in office, which is another, right out of the Twilight Zone. What are you talking about? The economy was so much better. I was doing so much better then. Well, what the fuck? That's the power of propaganda, guys. And that's why the media is useless. The corporate media, the mainstream media, because they screwed us. They brought us to this position. every time they brought up inflation, they should have said, just like they say about Trader Trump's jobs record, well, it's a worldwide inflation problem. The worldwide inflation problem continues to plague this country. It's not Biden. Just like that fucking baboon said, too. The price of eggs, the price of eggs. How the price of eggs now? And it's only going to get worse. But even the baboon said, oh, well, there's not much you can do, right? When he got elected. Again, disgracefully. Well, there's really not much you can do. Oh, God help us. All right. Joni Ernst is a maggot who gave us a glimpse. The compassionate conservatism is famous. Remember when it was a phrase. That's the phrase coined by George W. Bush back in the day, compassionate conservatism. I wish. There's no such thing, by the way. It's like an what do they call that? Is that an oxymoron? Like military intelligence, things like that. Compassionate conservatism? What is that? Because, conservatism is the ideology of hierarchy. And it is fundamentally an anti-democratic ideology. It's underlying the conservative zeitgeist is the notion that there are certain people that should rule, and as Rush Limbaugh said, some people are just born to be slaves. That is conservatism in a nutshell, right there. Some people are born to be slaves, and that's what. Stop me if you think I'm wrong. That's what conservatism is today. Some people are born to be slaves. Some people don't deserve a shot. And some people, should just go die. Don't pester your betters. What? Social safety net? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We're going back to the Dark Ages, the Gilded Age. They're all throughout Western civilization. Every age from the Dark Ages to the Gilded Age were when the rich did well. They talk about like back during, I talk about the Roman Empire, the Roman Republic. And life expectancy, let's say, if you were rich, you could live to a ripe old age. Hold on a second. Be right back. This is Tara Devlin. Unapologetic liberal talk, which is what we need. Oh, thank you, Necromantic. Why did I say Necro? Neromantic. I love your name. Thank you for your super chat and your little emoji of Superman. Very cool. Right. Neromantic said, excuse me, I can't talk. Neromantic says, man was born free and everywhere he is in chains. Isn't that tragic? That is Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, which was one of the Enlightenment thinkers that inspired the American Revolution. Oh boy. God. Anyway, so thank you for that quote. It actually makes me very sad to hear it. It like hits you in the soul. Oh, brother. But this is what we're dealing with. The Republicans they're horrible. And there is no such thing as compassionate conservatism. That's a joke. That is bullshit. Wait, I'm just trying to shut the fucking window. Hold on a second. I got the clip here. So Joni Ernst was giving a town hall today. Or at a town hall. I don't know. Do you give town halls? She was given some sass at the town hall. And, you know, people are upset about this fucking big, beautiful bill, which is bullshit. The big, beautiful bill, of course. If Republicans call anything a big, beautiful anything, you're in big, big trouble. What's in the big, beautiful bill is pain, suffering for you, for anyone not born on third base. That's for sure. And so Joni Ernst had a town hall. Let's play it. Where's my side by side? Here we go. Oh, why do I have to put myself back in there? That should just be there. Oh no, I'm in the wrong thing. But that's the Devlin versus the news thing. It don't matter. How come I'm in the wrong thing? Like, you know. No, that's the Tara show. Where's me? Okay, that's better. I have too many things going on. As far as I mean, windows open. All right, so here's Joni Ernst at a town hall. Let's just play it.
When you are arguing about illegals that are receiving Medicaid benefits, 1.4 million, 1.4, they are not eligible, so they will be coming off. So people
will die.
Well, we all are going to die.
We're all gonna die. It was kind of hard to hear. Let me see if I have a better clip of that. But they're asking her about this big, beautiful bill and the cuts to Medicaid and Medicare. Which one is that?
So
I think this one's a little better.
So when we're talking about the corrections in this reconciliation bill, again, it's corrections of overpayments and people that have not been eligible for these programs by law as it is currently written. So when you
These are all lies, by the way.
When you are arguing about illegals that are receiving Medicaid benefits, 1.4 million. 1.4, they're not.
1.4 million illegals. It's bullshit.
They will be coming off. So people are not.
Overpayments.
Well, we all are going to die. So,
wow.
For heaven's sakes.
Aren't they lovely?
For heaven's sakes, folks. Okay, no, but.
For heaven's sakes, we're all gonna die. So what does that mean, bitch? That you don't give a shit about anybody else but yourself? Is that it? I thought you were a Christian. I thought you believed in Jesus. What are you going to tell Jesus? You know, you're going to have a lot of explaining to do to the Savior you pretend to worship. When he says, did you follow my expressed instructions? And she'll say, well, no, we're all going to die. Right? Why would I? Did you feed the hungry, house the unhoused? Did you help people in prison? No, you sent them to concentration camps. You denied them due process. But what she's saying is a complete lie. We see the Republican tactics in action. They want to cut Medicaid and Medicare. It's going to affect Americans. It's going to affect everybody. Everybody is touched by Medicare. We all know people who are on Medicare, on Medicaid. It helps people. If you have a elderly parent, my father had Alzheimer's. He was in a home, thank God, because we couldn't care for him. He needed 24-hour round-the-clock care. He and he was in a facility and he got good care. And it was because of Medicaid. And Medicare, I should say. But it doesn't matter, But it's, that's what they want to cut. That's what they're cutting. So she's a liar. And that's what the Republicans do. They will just say, well, illegals are getting it. She can't say that trans are getting it, right? But in the big, beautiful bill, they will eliminate gender-affirming care because they want more suicides. And they hate people. And they want to, they want to divide people on every fissure of disunity, on every lie, every distinction without a difference. They want to divide people. They never bring light to a situation. They never bring understanding, compassion. No. They bring greed and selfishness and excuses for it and lies. She's got to know that she is lying. Undocumented immigrants are not eligible for federally funded Medicaid, Medicare, or anything, or CHIP. This has been the case since the year 1996. They're not eligible. The only exception, there is an exception, it's called emergency Medicaid, which covers emergency medical care for individuals who meet all other Medicaid requirements except immigration status. So if you are hurt, or things like that, you show up at the hospital, they have a duty to treat you, because we're not complete monsters yet, but that's what Republicans want. They want you to die. We're all gonna die, right? So this is, but the exception is very small and limited, and it doesn't provide ongoing health coverage. It's just emergencies. Because we don't want to, it's sort of like capital punishment. We don't want to admit we're complete barbarians, so we use, what do you call it? And the fucking injections. I can't think, instead of chopping off people's heads or whatever. So, states must verify citizenship and immigration status before granting Medicaid. It's part of the eligibility process. Applicants can't just say, they can't self-identify or self-attest. They have to prove it with documents. So she's a fucking liar. So that's what you could see right here. This is what they're going for. This is the route, the ruse they have adopted. It's the same one they always use. Can't be surprised. But they're liar. She's a liar. And they want to cut Medicare and Medicaid, and they want you to believe that when they do, you're gonna get the satisfaction of being able to hate other people. It's gonna be illegals. It's just illegals. All right, guys, this is the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. Please come over to the YouTube channel.com/Tarabuster for the rest of the show. Check out the Tara Show every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on the Political Voices Network. I'll lower this a little. Shit. We will win. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Become a patron, patreon.com/Tara Devlin. See you soon. It's incredible. Yep. I see Mach 7 on the chat. There's a lot of death in that big, beautiful bill. It really is dark. Well, that's why they call it beautiful. They love death. The Republicans. I'm surprised she didn't get all warm and fuzzy saying we're all going to die. Yeah, what's in the big, beautiful bill? Let's see. It extends the 2017 Trump tax scam permanently, but only for the rich, by the way. There were very minimal provisions in that bill that went to people who work for a living And they kind of like robbed you in your front pocket, and then they gave it, I don't know, what's the proper metaphor? They would cut something there and give it to you, give it back in another way. It came out to be kind of a wash for working people, because that's not who they're working for. And it says everything that we need to know about them by the mere fact that all of the very minimal benefits that went to people who work for a living expired. They had an expiration date. The benefits that went to the rich, which was over 90% of the bill, 96 point, I don't remember the exact, I got to look it up. How many? It was much over 90%. How much? Let's see. What's the percentage? Yeah, I guess that would be. What's the percentage that went to the top in the what was that? 2017? 2017 tax scam. Let's see what the AI says. Multiple independent analysis shows that a disproportionately large share, I wanted the percentage, of the benefits from the 2017 scam went to the top 5% of households. Oh boy, oh boy. So, all right. It was a lot. A lot. By a lot. It's coming in 2 weeks. By a lot. But let's see. Yeah, so that says it all. If they were working for working people, why wouldn't the provisions for the rich expire? And the shit that goes to the working people, why wouldn't that be permanent? Huh? Anybody got a clue? Delivers an additional $1,300 annual tax cut for a typical family of four. Whatever. 2 children will end up. Wait a minute. The key tax provisions, delivers an additional $1,300 and more. You get a tax cut of $1,300 for if you're a family of 4. Wow, what are you gonna do with that windfall? Family of 4. I think that'll last you a whole week, maybe 2 weeks, a month, if you really. Enhances the standard deductions. Oh, yes, and no federal tax on tips, which is another scam, of course, because what will happen, it's like when when Reagan, they changed the tax code to something about CEO pay, and that's when CEOs started getting paid in stock options, where the CEOs would not have to pay taxes on stock options. So that's what happened then. So your salary would be $1, and then the rest of it would be stock. So you would be scot-free. You'd just be a parasite riding the American workers to the bank. And that's what this whole no tax on tips. Everyone has been writing about it, saying as soon as it's another loophole that they're going to exploit. Because if you are getting tips, and it only qualifies the tips that are put on a credit card, if you pay with a credit card. But if you're working for tips, or if part of your pay come from tips, most people, they're not reporting it, just putting it in your pocket, right? Let's see. So yeah, what will happen is the CEOs will say, oh, my salary is $1 and my tip is for $1 million or whatever it might be. So and it goes to show you how disingenuous they are and their nefarious intent. Because why would you lie, Joni? First of all, she can't help it. Her, the evil core in the Republican soul. There's something wrong with them. They have a very sick soul. Maybe that's why they pretend to be so religious. Right? For real. Because it's like the BTK killer, He was the leader of his congregation, big holy roller. They always got to play pious, because they know. Just, not always, but I mean, Republicans in general. They have to project. We always got to hear how Christian they are. But how come we never see it? That's what always confuses me. If you're a Christian, why don't you see it? You don't have to tell me you're a Christian. I should see it in your actions. Shouldn't we? Just the tip, Mach 7 says. That's funny. Is it Errol's birthday today? Errol? What? I missed that. Errol. What? You hit 55 yesterday? Happy birthday, Errol. Happy birthday, Errol. Thanks for hanging out, Errol, and being an OG Tarabuster. Happy birthday, and many, many more, Errol. Woo! I'm happy you're here. Thank you. Let's see. What else can I do for you? Let me see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I'll give you a standing ovation. Thank you for being born. And, of course, boom, 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 boom. Happy birthday. I'm not gonna go into it. But happy birthday, Errol Thomas. OG Tarabuster in the chat. Thank you for hanging out. All right. What are those crowns for? That's a new thing. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. I think they gave that for people who showed up in the chat. That's what it seemed to me. The first 3 people in the chat got it. Because Josie was number 1, and then Errol, and then Jim, number 3. So maybe that's what that is. That's new. It's a new thing, I guess, that YouTube is rolling out. I think that's what it is. I think it is. So let me see. What was I saying? So Joni, they're all just liars. Isn't that disgusting? So, okay, the 1 million figure is false. She must know that. If I know this, see, I looked it up. That, unlike what maggots do, they just watch Fox News and they'll guzzle the misinformation and regurgitate it to whoever, I guess, in their family will listen, or friends. But, so I looked it up. Is that correct? That doesn't, it's because I always look things up, even when Democrats say it, of course. And there are many studies. I'm not saying Democrats are perfect. They're not. And we know, and we give them we bring the receipts for Democrats too. They're just not as bad as Republicans. Republicans are, they're not working in the best interest of the American people. That's why they have to lie all the time. She must, see, if I know this, if I know that the claim that 1.4 million undocumented immigrants are on Medicaid is false, then she knows it. I looked it up. Are Are there $1.4 million, 1.4 million undocumented immigrants on Medicaid? It is not, and the answer I got back is no. It's not. It's false. Medicaid, no. There's no federal data or eligibility data to support that claim. Yes. But the CBO estimate referenced by Ernst refers to the number of people who could lose Medicaid if the bill's verification requirements are enacted. These include people whose immigration status could not be verified in time, including lawfully present immigrants and U.S. citizens with documentation issues. Maybe that's what she's talking about. Because there's no way under the sun, just like there's no problem of illegals voting. That's not a thing. It doesn't happen. Because people who are undocumented, they want to stay away from any kind of interaction with, the government, because they don't want to get caught. So they're going to show up. Oh, I'll give you $50 if you go vote. You think it's worth it? You're going to show up and vote, and you're not. Who are you going to vote? You got to be on the rolls, right? The only people they catch are, and they do catch them. It's not a thing. It's people from the villages who are voting for Traitor Trump twice. That's happening. That's what happens. But the fact that they're caught just says that it works. The system works. And it doesn't occur in a way that has any, impact on the election results. So the other people who will be affected are, of course, Americans. We're all gonna die, though, so why bother? Why don't you go quit then, Joni? Quit. Why are you working in government? Why don't you get the fuck out? And, if we're all gonna die, what are you doing? Clearly you don't give a shit about your constituents, because they're gonna die one day. Everyone's gonna die one day. Fuck it. Why do you care? Why are you doing anything for them? Oh, no, you're not doing anything for them. You're doing it for Elon Musk. Yeah. You're doing it for the likes of Elon Musk. What state is Joni Ernst from? I like doing this. I like looking up the poorly run red states. Where is she? She is Iowa. Let's look up Iowa's stats. Iowa. How? Let's see. Iowa. Looking it up. Red state. Oops. I misspelled that. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Iowa has a shrinking economy. Iowa's economy contracted by close to 1% in 2024, ranking 49th among all U.S. states, second worst in the nation. Aren't they all suck? They are all poorly run. And hello, Democrats, what the hell? And I'm just saying, this is what you need to say. When you talk about the red states, you say poorly run red states. That you preface it, because it's true. We don't have to be like Republicans. We don't have to lie. We have the facts. We have reality on our side. Low personal income growth. The state is ranked 48th in personal income growth, only with Nebraska and North Dakota performing worse, both red states as well. Iowa has the second slowest job growth in the nation, with a negative growth rate of 0.6%. negative 0.6. Structural labor shortages, chronic labor shortages, ineffective policy responses have contributed to economic stagnation long term. That's Republican policy. That's what they're talking about. Ineffective policy. Medicaid cuts and coverage losses. Iowa's Republican delegation has supported deep cuts to Medicaid, which could result in 173,000 Iowans losing coverage and over $8 billion in lost economic activity over the next decade. That's what you're voting for, Iowa. You're voting for Joni Ernst? Really? Because you saw her on Fox News and she hates trans people too, right? That's it? Well, how much do you hate yourself? How much do you hate your kids, your granny, your grandpappy, your neighbors, your friends? To keep voting for these people who don't work for you, who hate you. You're nothing but a host from which to suck profit and discard. 1/3 of Iowa's rural hospitals are already losing money, and 22% are at risk of closing. Medicaid cuts would exacerbate this, potentially leaving entire communities without local health care options. That's what she's advocating for. She's sitting on that stage, looking in the faces of her constituents, and she's advocated through lies. She's lying to them, hoping that they will be stupid enough to continue to vote for their own demise, while she cuts their lifelines, while she removes health care from their communities. This is the stuff you can't make up. It's absolutely mind-boggling. If we were living in another time, you know what they would do to Nancy May, Ernie. They're all the same. Ernie. I was going to call her Ernie Jost. Joni Ernst. She is an Ernie Jost, isn't she? But they would march her to the border and they say, "Good luck, bitch. Kick her out into the wilderness." It's absolutely unfathomable how much Republican voters continue to vote for their own demise. And that's why, when I was doing research for the article that should be up now at the Political Voices Network about Sean Duffy and his lies about, taking credit for Joe Biden's infrastructure bill and all that, and all the progress and the success of manufacturing returning to America. And I was looking it up. Oh, wait, hold on. Shit. Oh, here it is. And I thought, wait a minute. Fuck. There was a point to this. I'm sorry. It went out of my head. Wait, what was it? I was looking it up. There was something about... This is fucked up. I've been up since 6 a.m., so... Oh, shit. Because I was like... Oh, yeah, because I was looking up... There was a point to this. I was doing the research. Oh, yeah, this is what it was. On the infrastructure. Like, where is this correct? Is he correct? Are the tariffs causing a manufacturing resurgence and supply chain realignment and all that? And of course that was not true. And I thought, every time I was doing the research and they're saying that it's the Chips and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the infrastructure bill, but every single article I read or came across talking about the infrastructure bill, they called it the bipartisan infrastructure bill. And it fucking started really irritating me. Because, what? The bipartisan infrastructure bill? It wasn't that bipartisan. An overwhelming, as you can expect, majority in the House of Republicans did not vote for it. It was a few. It was a handful that got it over, it passed the House, to where it passed the House. And then it had to go to the Senate. And I think it was 20 Republicans voted for it in the Senate. And I guess that's more bipartisan than most, but it's not a lot. It's really not that much. So we always, that's the Democrats for you. That's Joe Biden. That's what every time he talked about. It's the bipartisan infrastructure. It's the bipartisan infrastructure. Well, you think that the Republicans would be that gracious? Would they be as similarly gracious to you, Dems? I doubt it. In fact, I'm confident they wouldn't, not just doubt. Iowa has the fastest growing cancer rate in the country. The rate of new cancer cases in the U.S. is second highest, and the second highest rate overall. That's interesting. I wonder if it has anything to do with, deregulation somehow, or poison in the environment. The state has the fourth highest rate of binge drinking. Well, that makes sense. A known cancer risk factor. Oh, that's interesting. And public health officials have called for more robust policy responses. Yeah, that won't happen. The officials called for policy responses? Not with Republicans in control. Let's see. Tax cuts for the wealthy. Recent Republican backed budgets have prioritized tax breaks for corporations and upper income households while slashing essential programs like Medicaid and SNAP. Oh, Tara Jr. Oh, he's so cute. I gotta show you something. I can't, though. Oh, boy. How can I show you this? I put my hand down to my side, and Tara Jr. is like holding my hand now. Oh well, he took it away. But I couldn't get the camera up. I would have to get the fucking iPhone camera, and it was very cute. I have to get one. I have to put that at the ready. I gotta make that something so I can capture the cats doing something cute on occasion when they do it. Gotta be quick. Where is it? Okay. So education funding is at risk. Federal Medicaid funds support special education in Iowa's public schools. Cuts would force schools to reduce services for children with developmental delays or health needs. Well, they're going to die too. And Republicans, they like that. They want to make you see Jesus quicker. Iowa's record under Republican leadership is marked by economic stagnation, healthcare instability, threats to rural hospitals and schools, and policy choices that favor tax cuts for the rich at the expense of essential services for ordinary Iowans. Doesn't that just sound very Republican? I don't get it. Well, I do get it. And it's what we've been saying here forever and ever, amen, that propaganda works. People will continue to vote for their own demise. What a different country this would be with actual leadership. We got to get money out of politics, of course, and re-regulate the media. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. But that's really the bottom line. Money in politics is the root of all this evil, and the media. It's the two things that are really killing us here. But because, and also the Democrats, the Democrats don't have a unified message. It's very, I've been listening to a lot of people complaining about that, or discussing it rather, and I continue to advocate for them talking to me. And I mean, I'm not, 100% the greatest person on earth, of course, and have all the answers, but I believe that what we talk about here is, talking about the Democrats unapologetically advocating for the progressive policies that built the middle class to begin with. That's the route to go. But we're not going to get that with the Schumer-crats and the Nancy Pelosi's and all that. They need to go. They need to retire, or at least go back to just go mentor the younger people. If you don't want to let go of power, it's time to mentor the youth coming up. But the problem is, it's like Nancy Pelosi is one of the reasons she was the Speaker of the House was because she was good at fundraising. She was an epic fundraiser. And the way I look at it is she's good at the thing that, makes government suck. Fundraising. We need to get money out of politics, but as we know, anyway, whatever. That's a whole other conversation for another night, because we're almost at the end of the show. Let's go into this RFK asshole. Oh, wait, wrong button. So, here, let me get this fucking bitch off the page here. Not this bitch. That bitch. What's going on? I'll put this up. The Devlin versus the news. I like that background too. Yeah. So, okay. Make America healthy again. This says everything about the Republicans, like everything else. They're lazy. I've been saying it forever, haven't I? They don't want to work. They're lazy. That's why they need shortcuts. That's why they want to buy politicians to corrupt government, to change the laws, to make it easier for them to steal and things like that. Because they're lazy. Trump is the laziest bitch on earth. That's for sure. But he, MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, which I guess includes never getting vaccinated and swimming in sewage. And you know what's going to happen, guys. The people in these poorly run red states are going to feel it the worst. They're the ones that are going to die. These are the ones, I don't know how, this is how evil Trump is. They turned vaccinations into an issue of freedom. I'm free. I'm not going to get vaccinated. They're the ones that brought measles back, that brought these diseases back that we thought we had eradicated. This was never an issue for years. In fact, Ted Cruz, I found something, I should have captured it, where he was boasting about how Texas had the highest rate of vaccination in the nation. Could you imagine him putting something like that out there today? Of course not. Because they're followers. They're cowards. They want money and power for themselves. They don't give a shit who they kill. And that's the other thing. When these people in the Iowa town hall or any of these other these poorly run Republican states, well, they should go there with the stats. Joni Ernst, how dare you? How dare you sit up there in however many years you've been in office and read off the devastating arithmetic right in her face and ask her to explain herself. You're in there making policy. Like, you think that we're going to be satisfied with hating trans people? That's all you got for us? Some bullshit bathroom bill? Or now you're lying about immigrants. You're lying about illegals, so we all vote for our own demise. But that's what has to happen, I think. Democrats, come on. Will you listen to me? Listen to me, Dems. But where is it? The MAHA. But yeah, they're all a bunch of lazy bastards. So Make America Healthy Again report released by Health and Human Services so-called Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Another disgrace, another embarrassment. It was intended as a landmark assessment of chronic childhood disease. But once again, just like the lies that come out of maggots' mouth, they had a conclusion, and they were concocting the justifications for the conclusion. They already had the conclusion, like Doge, like the Department of Gazillionaire Extortion, when the guy who thought he was actually rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse in government reported that, hey, I didn't find any waste, fraud, and abuse. They're doing pretty well over here, and these people are patriots and public servants who are working for their communities, and they're doing it pretty efficiently. He was fired. And it's the same thing here. That guy was fired because, hey, boo, we're not actually looking for waste, fraud, and abuse here. You get it, honey? We want to destroy government. I'm Elon Musk. I'm a acolyte of Curtis Yarvin, a fucking fascist. We hate democracy. We're in the body politic like a parasite sucking life out of a host. You're not there to actually fix things. You're there to fuck shit up and steal the data. And that's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He had a conclusion, and he was looking for a justification to wrap it around. Just like, it's like intelligent design, wrapping their bullshit around the veneer of legitimacy by giving it a name that sounds like it's on par with reality. But so Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his commission, they were going to release this bombshell landmark assessment of chronic childhood disease that, of course, would prove that he, the kook, who's not even a doctor, who's got a goddamn brain worm eating his goddamn gray matter, who swims in sewage with his grandchildren, that he was going to tell us all we were all wrong. I don't know how did we ever live without these kooks guiding us? I mean, how did we dress ourselves, wash ourselves? How did we have the American, the great American middle class? How did FDR do it without these maggots? When he was, all this loony liberal policy that created the greatest middle class that the world had ever known, that created the middle class in the first place. How did he do it with all this kooky liberal destruction? Amazing. But Robert F. Kennedy, they, of course, because he's lazy, I'm sure what they did was they put in the conclusion and into ChatGTP or whatever. Is it GPT or you know what I mean? Into the AI. This is the thing about AI. I use the AI too. I ask it questions all the time, but you always have to check it. You have to fact check it. You got to double check it. That's, you can't just be a lazy bastard. You have to do your due diligence. And, oh my, Tara Jr., stop. Now he's really annoying me. And what do you want me to do? Pick you up? He's like my nephew. When my nephew was little, I miss those days. Oh, here comes the music, but I will lower the music because we will continue the show. We'll finish the show. We'll finish this. You know why? Because, we need to. We need to finish what we started. We will win. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Become a patron, patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Check out the Tara Show at the Political Voices Network YouTube channel with myself and Tara Dublin and Jim in the chat room every Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will win. We're on the right side of history. Decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. My name is Tara Devlin. I will see you soon. We don't need the music. All right. Oh my God. All right, guys. Become a patron at patreon.com. Yeah, I'm doing this on the fly right now. I'm trying to create a camera in the... Let me see. Copy. This is in Ecamm. Shit. I'm trying to create a camera. I have to create a camera. Okay, that's the camera. And then I have to assign the camera something. Something. Here we go. The iPhone. I'm assigning it. And there it is. And that's Tara Jr. We got to get the Tara Jr. cam in here. I can do it like this. We can make it like that. Wouldn't that be fun? That'll be nice. I'll put it over here. Then I have to hold it. This is our emotional support cat cam. I gotta fix it somehow so I can... I'll just have to set it up. That's good. All right. How you like it? How you like it now, guys? Good stuff. That's a good show right there. This would be a great show. If we weren't fighting fascism, we'd just have a cat show. Right, honey? And he was just the only reason, well, here's my arm. He was just tapping my arm. That's the way he, uh-oh, what happened to the phone? It just blurred out. It blurred the hell out and, okay, it disconnected. Let me see. Here we go, we're back. We are back. All right. Where was I? We're talking about make America healthy again. So anyway, what he did probably was he put into the AI, he asked it for to give him studies that concluded whatever his conclusion, his preconceived notion was. And it made up. That's what it does. It makes shit up. So, and because he's a lazy bastard, he didn't verify it. And there it went blurry again. Why does it do that? Why does it go blurry? Oh, I don't know. Who knows? So at least 7 studies cited in the MAHA report do not exist. These include references to papers in reputable journals such as the Journal of American Medicine Pediatrics and the American Academy of Pediatrics that cannot be found in any issue or database. Right? Sarah Jr.? Some citations listed authors who were not involved in the referenced research. For example, epidemiologist Catherine Keyes was surprised to find herself on the list as the lead author on a study about adolescent anxiety she never wrote. See, I gotta clean up my, well, that's just the table. It has all my shit on it. My magazines. My Buddhist publications, Living Buddhism, okay? That's what that is. Okay? There you go. You're getting a glimpse inside the Tarabuster Studios that you never had before. See? There's my Gohansen. That's the view out the window. Maybe one day we'll take a tour. Tarabuster Studio. No, we can't do that. Since somebody will come and like break in or will kill me in my sleep. We don't want that, do we? Nah, even though we're all gonna die, but you know, hopefully not today. So I want to see. I don't want to die before Elon Musk goes to prison. At least is in the dock at The Hague. Then I'll be all right. Let's go, if need be. Some citations. Oh yes, I read that. Other researchers, such as Dr. Harold J. Farber, were cited as authors of studies on asthma medication that doesn't exist. It has broken links, incorrect issue numbers, misattributed authorship. Numerous citations included broken and non-functional links because they don't even bother to check their own work, do they? They just got the AI to write some fiction that justified their bullshit. The fiction that justified the fiction so they can kill more Americans, deny more people health care, vaccinations, the things that actually made America great. And they've cut science research, medical research. You know how far they've set us back? This is fascist brain drain. It's happening here. It's in full effect. That's a thing. It took Germany 50 years to recover from the fascist brain drain. So let's see. It had repetition and duplication of citations. The Washington Post found that out of 522 footnotes, there were 37 citations repeated throughout the document, indicating a lack of rigorous sourcing and review. Of course, rigorous sourcing. The report inflated statistics or drew unsupported conclusions. For example, it claimed that an 800% increase in antipsychotic prescriptions for children between 1990 and 2009, whereas the actual research showed an 8-fold increase. Wow. And it makes you think that, of course, it makes you think, but I mean, about when I was remember last week we were talking about what a moron Joe Rogan is, and we were playing some clips, and what a baboon he is, what a danger he is. He spreads his stupidity. He just falls for things and reads memes that have no basis in reality, that probably came from the Kremlin, and then other maggots repost it and say bombshell report. And I was thinking about a clip that I saw with not Elon Musk, with Joe Rogan claiming that he read RFK Jr.'s book, The Real Dr. Fauci, and he should be in prison and all that. Dr. Fauci, this man who has done more for this country than any 50 friggin' Nuremberg rally maggot dupes, 50 goddamn stadium full crowds of Nuremberg rally maggot dupes could ever hope to do or muster in 1,000 lifetimes. Dr. Fauci has done more for this country, more for the human race. And this Joe Rogan was saying how, he should be arrested. He should be in jail. Now, what do you think? This dumb brain worm-addled kook posts a government study that is completely fabricated. What do you think his books are? There's no bombshells. The only bombshell is how stupid people are. But is that a bombshell? Suckers are born every minute. Trumpanzees are living proof. So, the dangers, let's see, where is it? Claims about the dangers of screen time, medication use, and advertising to children were based on misrepresented or unrelated studies. Just pull it out of your ass. You don't need. Who needs facts? Who needs reality? So, the experts and journalists noted that noted the signs that AI tools were used to compile the report. And the markers include markers of how they could tell. Anybody could tell. Where the citation formats mimicked academic references but pointed to nothing. The URLs with OAICITE, a tag is associated with OpenAI in the referenced list. AI-generated citations included plausible-sounding titles, authors, and DOIs. What's DOI? DOI. Somebody can tell me. Digital Object Identifier. That do not correspond to real publications. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, well, what did she say? She probably said, "You're a nasty." What a nasty question that is. Oops, shit, almost dropped the phone. Never ask that question again. So nasty. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, said the errors were due to formatting issues. I don't know. Do you ever have that happen? When you're writing a paper or an article and you format it, and all of a sudden there's fabricated citations and studies littered throughout. I've had that happen 1,000,000 times. It's so weird. They did not deny the existence of the fabricated or erroneous citations, but insisted these do not undermine the substance of the report, even though it's based in complete bullshit. You see? Because the Republicans, they don't need facts, reality. It's another example of what we're dealing with. They're disingenuous. It's all bullshit. It is all bullshit. They're just pissed off they have to play the game. They have to waste time and come up with bullshit excuses to wrap their kookiness around the veneer of legitimacy. They want, when they can get rid of this pesky democracy once and for all, they won't have to deal with that shit. They'll just, baboon at the top will go booga booga and they'll all march in line and we'll all have to follow suit. They won't have to release a fake study or whatever. They'll just say, fuck off. Die. Go die in the fields. We're all going to die anyway. Have fun meeting Jesus. Your rewards will come in heaven. So the administration has since released an updated version of the report, replacing some of the fake citations with real sources and softening the language around certain claims. So what does that mean? It means fixing the facts around the policy. Where are you going, Junior? You were on camera. Well, let's go over here. Look, we got a Buddha cam now. Buddha. See? You're cute. All right. Can't do the show like that. That was good. I got to get a camera set up like that. Don't you think? I need another camera over here. But that's what we should do. I'll work on that. I probably have another. I wonder if there's a Wi-Fi camera that you can probably connect through the Bluetooth, so you don't have another wire. And I could put it over here. I could put it like we can have a Buddha cam. I think that'll be good. What do you think? All right. So the authorship of the report remains opaque, with no one wants to take credit. That's what you do when you're so proud of your work. No one wants to take credit. God help us all. All right, it's time. It's time. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I start the Elon Musk thing, we'll never get unconscious tonight. But all right, yeah, we can't. I gotta lay down. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. But yes, a kitty cam would be good. Right? Right, Buddha? Let me see. Cancel the disconnect. Let me see. See. Where's my eCam? Buddha? Look at you, Booty. You're so good. Look how good. She's such a beauty. She is so good. All right. You all knew that anyway. Sometimes she's so good that she's so beautiful. I'm fucking losing it. She's so beautiful. I love her. She's so cute. She's killing me. Sometimes when she looks at me, you could tell like she loves me. Then I look at her right back. She goes, meep. I mean, I look like a fucking kook right now. I reminded myself of, I was watching, you remember that Gordon Ramsay, Amy's Baking Company? Oh my God, Tara Jr. I didn't even see you sneaking up here. What's going on with Spooky? Oh, he's a good boy. Tara, wait, hold on. He's gonna sit on my keyboard. No. Sit over here. Hey, he's yelling at me. Hear how he talks to me. Not nice. But I was watching. I love that Amy's Baking Company. Remember that episode of the Kitchen Nightmares? And I love Gordon Ramsay. I think he's great. I enjoy him. I like him. I just like him. I like the guy. And that Amy's Baking Company, if you remember, it was like the best episode because it was the only one that he walked out on them. They were unreachable. And figures, she ran for some like Republican seat, or she was working on some Republican. I mean, she was a Republican. Of course. And she was also in prison for a period of time, not a long time. She stole someone's identity and tried to take out a loan under their name. And, of course, for herself. But she got arrested for it. She went to prison for a couple of years. And then she married this older man who bought her Amy's Baking Company. Remember this? And it became very popular. It was all over social media, people making movies, not like little gifs and whatnot about it. But the reason I thought about that is because she was like, I speak cat, meow, meow, meow. And I just reminded myself of that. And I hope I can live that down. So, but I am no way like Amy from Amy's Baking Company. But at the time when that happened, and when they were on social media attacking their critics, I was also one of the people that was like arguing with Amy from Amy's Baking Company. I would post things and they were arguing back. It was on Facebook. I wonder if it's still there. I bet you if I go back in my Facebook, because then people started contacting me about it, saying, I see you fighting with Amy from Amy's Baking Company. But it was just so amazing that this woman, like how unhinged, like a Trump, like Trader Trump, just couldn't let anything go. Like really crazy. If you haven't seen the episode of Kitchen Nightmares, Amy's Baking Company, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. You must treat yourself. It's the funniest thing. And also most fascinating study in human whatever. Human fuckery. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, guys. What do you think? What do you think? We will win. We will win. Thank you for hanging out. What's going on with Spooky? Oh, yes, I forgot. He's good boy. He's being a good boy. What's going on with Spooky? That's what's going on with Spooky. He's eating a banana. Isn't he cute? He got a banana. It's on the Tarabuster Discord page. And thank you, Twisted Nerves Painting, for posting your pictures of your beautiful cats. And Pookie's mommy Irene is posting pictures of the pets, her dogs. Go on the Tarabuster Discord page and post some pictures of your animals. Isn't he cute? He's a doll. What a good boy. I'll never have any more pictures of him in here. I do, I mean. All my entire phone is just cats and shit about Republicans that I capture for the show. It's just cats, see? Cats and Republican memes. There's Elon Musk jumping, and that's about it. There's Boudica. Look how cute she is. She's a good girl. There's Spooky, sitting in the windowsill. Oh my God, Tara Jr., he just jumped on my leg. Come on, man. All right, my friends, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for indulging me with my cat cam and everything else. That's why we're here. We're just hanging out. We're bringing the receipts. We're having fun. It's Friday night. Happy birthday, Errol. Thank you for being born, because we're in this together. And you were born at the right time, that's for sure. Interesting times. And I'm glad you were born so we can all get through this together. And we will win. One day at a time. We will win. You know why, guys? We're on the right side of history. Where's my cat cam? Uh-oh. We're on the right side of... Come on, cat cam. Where'd you go? It's not connecting. That's this. That's me. There's two of me. Where's my cat cam? It's not connecting. Oh, well. It's not connecting. I was going to show you Tara Jr. Oh, well. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Check out the Tara Show every Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Political Voices Network YouTube channel with myself and Tara Dublin. Check it out. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. That helps me and keeps the show going and growing. Helps me, keep the show going and growing. And the Political Voices Network. Become a subscriber. Like and subscribe. All that shit. And the Substack. That's the other thing. I'm doing a lot of videos and articles. It's on the Substack. So, you know what would be good too? If you have a minute, just contact the Political Voices Network people and say, I love Tara Devlin. I want more Devlin. I want more Devlin. Right? That'll be good. Well, and tell your friends. We want to be, I hope, that, I mean, there's enough room for everyone, but we need to get the word out. I want this Political Voices Network to grow as big as Midas Touch Network. We can do it. And then it's not about really, what it is about is, and you know why I wouldn't be doing the show if I didn't believe in what we're doing, but that we need to combat the propaganda. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We have a lot of work to do, as I hope the show tonight is another example that we have a lot of propaganda to cut through and get to our poor fellow Americans who are, swimming in stupidity because they're being played by people like Joni Ernst. Yes, no King's Day. 6/14. Oh my God. I can't wait till that's a national holiday. It will. If we win, it will be. What day does that fall on? What's 6/14? Oh, it's a Saturday. Okay, of course. Oh, God. Yes. No King's Day. Jesus Christ. On a bike. What the F? That's another thing that's so pissing me off, thinking about how dare my fellow Americans vote for this baboon, and when we are on the precipice of a 250-year birthday, and you knew this traitor was going to preside over the celebration. God, what a disgrace. What a disgrace. All right. We will win, though. We will. We will. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you all, guys. I love you. Happy birthday, Errol. Thank you so much for all you do to keep the show going and growing and hanging out with all of us. I'm very glad you spent your time with us tonight and let us celebrate you a little bit, because we got each other and we will win. We stick together. We win. Happy birthday, Errol. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will see you soon.